we start the chapter number 12, mineral nutrition. Again, another important part of plant physiology topics. Point number 1. The body of living organisms is made up of two things. One is water and another one is remaining matter. This matter, original source is various minerals. This chapter is dedicated for that study, particularly the nitrogen as one of the element which is very vital for the plants. Many aspects related with the nitrogen and plants, relationship of plants and nitrogen, they are mentioned in this chapter in detail. Point number 1. So far, how many elements have been discovered? How many elements have been discovered so far? Do you know? हाइड्रोजन, हीलियम, आर्गन, नियॉन, दिस दैट, अगर कंटिन्यूटी में चले जाए, is it the correct number 118 or latest figure is something different? Jait is the one. The current number is more than 120. ये information few years back की थी. Present information suggests the number of discovered elements on the earth has crossed 120 number. Remember this one. Acha, out of these 120 different elements prevailing on the earth, either in its atmosphere or else in its hydrosphere or else in its lithosphere, 60 different elements are found in plants. I mean, plant studies have revealed that as many as 60 elements have been found in the plant body. So virtually plants absorb 60 different elements from atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere of the earth. Simple as that. Out of that, 17 elements are essential. अच्छा, 118 एलिमेंट में से एब्जॉर्बेबल कितने हैं? 60. और उसमें से भी एसेंशियल कितने हैं? तो द नंबर इज 17. तो ये क्या मैटर है? लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड. See, every element that is been absorbed by the plant is not an essential. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि प्लांट जिस किसी एलिमेंट को भी एब्जॉर्ब करता है वो एसेंशियल है. Many elements which are useless, many elements which are important but are non-essential, they can also be absorbed by the plant. So when do you consider that the given element is essential for the plant? So the two scientists named Arnon and Stout, they gave conditions. They defined it clearly. That if these conditions get fulfilled, consider that the element is essential for the plants. Example, point number 1, essentiality criteria. When do you consider any element as an essential? When it fulfills following criteria. Number 1, it has to be necessary for the growth and reproduction in plants. That mineral has to be essential for growth and the reproduction in plants. Element must be absolutely necessary for the normal growth and for normal reproduction. In the absence of that element, plant will not be able to complete its life cycle. We call it as an essential. ये जो 60 एलिमेंट्स होते हैं उसमें से बहुत सारे एलिमेंट्स ऐसे हैं कि जिसके होने से कोई बेनिफिट होगा, बट अगर नहीं होता है, plant can still continue its life. They are non-essential. Out of 60, 43 are non-essential. So what is so important about those 70? They are essential. Means They are necessary for the growth and reproduction in plants. If they are not there, these 17 plants cannot complete. 17 में से कोई एक भी नहीं होगा. If any one of them is missing, then also plant won't be able to complete its life cycle. That means all those 17 are essential. Point number 2. Specific function of that element performed by that element should not be replaceable by another element. अब ये क्या है? So that element must be required for some specific function. अच्छा, that function cannot be performed by any other element. जैसे कि एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं, मैग्नीशियम के कोर पार्ट में, उसके सिंथेसिस के लिए कोर पार्ट में, अरे क्या मैं बोल रहा हूं, क्लोरोफिल पिगमेंट के कोर पार्ट में, उसके सिंथेसिस के लिए कोर पार्ट में मैग्नीशियम चाहिए. ऐसा कोई और एलिमेंट नहीं है कि मैग्नीशियम को रिप्लेस करके वहां पे रखा जाए. बिना मैग्नीशियम के वो फ्रेम ही नहीं होगा क्लोरोफिल, और बिना क्लोरोफिल के प्लांट लाइफ पॉसिबल नहीं. तो इसका मीनिंग तो ये होता है कि मैग्नीशियम इज एन एसेंशियल वन. सिंपल एज दैट. टेक इट in this manner, that a given element is performing certain function, and that function cannot be performed by any element other than that. That means the given element is your essential element. Third point, that element must be directly involved, clear cutly involved in metabolism of plant. Plant के metabolism में वो involve होना चाहिए. When these three criteria are fulfilled by any element, we say it is an essential element. Point number 1, short में, must be essential for or necessary for growth and reproduction, and in its absence, life cycle cannot be completed. Second, must be performing some specific function, and that cannot be replaced. That element cannot be replaced by any other one. Any other element cannot replace the given element when the particular function is performed by it. Tisra point, must have a clear cut involvement in plant metabolism. ये 3 points अगर fulfill किए जाए, तो then we say that a given element is an essential element over there. Who will define the 3 points, or one by one 3 students? Chalo, first Shreya.
Yes, sir. These three criteria are given by Arnon and Stout. And the first one is they are necessary for growth and reproduction in plants.
And in its absence, life cycle cannot be completed. Galav, second point.
Yes, sir. Second point, they should have some specific function, and they are not replaceable. That is, in absence of them, that function cannot be carried out.
Exactly. They perform some specific function in the plant life, and these given element are not replaceable. No other element will perform that function. Rishi, third line.
Element must be directly involved in metabolism.
Yeah, it has a direct, clear-cut involvement in the metabolism of the plant. When these 3 are fulfilled, we consider that it is essential element. Simple as that. Next one. Acha. How many types of elements are essential elements. Number wise, how many of them are accepted as the essential one? Chat box reply, yeah, 17. Now, these essential elements are further divided into categories such as macro elements and micro elements. 9 of them are macro, 8 of them are micro. Now, let's talk about what is the distinction between them. Proportion of macro elements is in excess, higher to 10 millimole per kg of dry mass or dry matter in the plant body. अच्छा, plant body का जो dry matter होता है उसका 1 kg dry matter से उसमें given element का proportion कितना होना चाहिए? 10 millimole or higher to that. So it will be accepted as macro element. Examples: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, the sulfur, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. When do you consider an element as a micro element? Its proportion should be lesser than, यहाँ पे higher than, यहाँ पे lesser than 10 millimoles per kg of dry matter of the plant. So plant का dry matter का per kg में दो टाइप के एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, जिसका proportion 10 millimole या उससे ज्यादा, they are called macro. जिसका proportion 10 millimole से less, they are known as micro element. Micro के examples है iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, zinc, boron, chlorine, nickel. Total how many? 3, 3, 6, 8. 8 are there. These 9 macro elements, these 8 micro elements together are known as essential, because whether they are macro or micro, amount required and available is more or less. They all are fulfilling those 3 criteria which were established by Arnon and Stout. Absolutely important for growth and reproduction, and without which life cycle cannot be completed. Second, their clear-cut involvement in metabolism, and another one, the role they perform, specific role, it cannot be performed by any other, so they are non-replaceable. So all macro elements, 9 of them, all micro elements, 8 of them, together 17 of them are essential elements. I repeat, we divide the elements, this essential elements, in the 2 categories. They are micro elements, macro elements and micro elements. Difference क्या है दोनों category में? Their proportion in a dry matter of plant. Plant के 1 kg dry matter में any element which is available, any essential element that is available in a 10 millimole or more amount, it is macro. If it is available in a less than 10 millimole amount, it is micro element. Macro example CHONPSK-CAMG. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. On the other hand, micro elements, trace elements, also known as, their examples include iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, zinc, boron, chlorine, and nickel. Over and above to those 17 termed as essential elements. By the way, if I ask you, What is the, who will define about the definition of macro element? चलो बहुत सारे रेडी है, वो अच्छी बात है. जुगल.
Yes, sir. Sir, macro elements whose proportions occurs more than 10 millimole of dry matter of the plant. For example,
How much dry matter, dear?
10 millimole or more than that of dry matter of plant.
In a, that is the amount of the given element. In a, how much dry matter of the plant? Plant की कितनी dry matter में इतना amount होना चाहिए? 1 kg.
Okay, sir.
So 1 kg of dry matter should have 10 millimole or more amount of such element, that is called as macro element. बोलिए आप examples.
Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, calcium, potassium, magnesium, etc.
हाँ, एक दो और रह गए.
Phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen.
Yeah, that's it. This 9. Okay. Next, Fatima, the other one.
Yes, sir. Sir, microelement. Proportion is less than 10 meter per mole kg of dry matter of plant. For example, manganese, copper, iron, zinc, boron, chlorine, nicon, and ammo.
Total कितने हुआ?
8 elements.
So then it is the micro elements, also at times known as trace elements. Remember, okay? आगे जाते हैं. Beneficial elements. Some elements such as sodium, silicon, cobalt, and selenium. You see, they are not essential. They don't show that criteria, any, those 3 points of Arnon and Stout, which define what is a essential element. So they don't fall in that category. They are not one of those 70. But they are one of those 60s which are absorbed and are beneficial for the plants. So अगर इनके बिना plant survive कर जाएगा, because they are not essential. But अगर है तो plant को benefit ज्यादा रहता है. तो जैसे this non-essential but beneficial elements, this list includes sodium, silicon, cobalt, and selenium. They are not essential for completion of life cycle for plant, but plant gets benefits of their presence in the soil. So then they are supposed to be called as which one? Beneficial elements. Who will talk about the list of 4 beneficial elements? The ones which are not essential, but yet are important and beneficial for the plant. We call them as the beneficial elements. Disha, Parikh, list of those 4. You got to go
Sir,
through.
sodium, cobalt, silicon, and selenium.
Exactly. किसी को अगर याद नहीं रहता है तो 3S and C. 3S for sodium, silicon, selenium, and then comes cobalt over there. So that is about these elements. आगे जाते हैं. Categorization of these elements. तो वो जो 17 elements थे हमारे, which we call as the essential elements. They have been categorized into 4 levels or 4 categories. This includes number 1, elements that are component of our biomolecules. In a way, they are structural elements of the cell. Out of those 17, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, they are the essential elements which constitute our biomolecules. Biomolecules जैसे protein, nucleic acid, and carbohydrate and lipids, without which you cannot build up the protoplasm and a cell. These are called as structural elements of the cell. Out of those 17, these are structural elements. Number 1, structural elements. फिर एक मिनट, हाँ, दूसरा कैटेगरी, some essential elements, they play the role of components of energy related chemical compounds in the plants. There are some energy related compounds in the plants. Example, chlorophyll, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Chlorophyll energy को trap करता है, ATP energy को store करता है, release करता है. ये सब energy related compounds है. So another set of elements are the constituent of such compounds, जैसे phosphorus. So it is necessary for synthesis of ATP, energy related chemical. Magnesium, so it is necessary for synthesis of chlorophyll, energy capturing related molecule. So second, some elements needed for building up the chemicals which are playing the role in energy transactions. Tisra, some elements activate or inhibit the enzymes. एक कैटेगरी है जो मॉलिक्यूल्स को फ्रेम करती है, स्ट्रक्चरल एलिमेंट्स जैसे कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन, नाइट्रोजन. They prepare proteins, they prepare carbs, they prepare lipids, they prepare nucleic acids. एक दूसरी कैटेगरी है जो प्लांट्स में एनर्जी रिलेटेड मॉलिक्यूल्स के बिल्डअप में यूटिलाइज होती है, जैसे मैग्नीशियम यूज्ड फॉर क्लोरोफिल, देन phosphorus used for ATP formation, etc. एक तीसरी कैटेगरी है which is concerned with the enzymatic reactions, either activator or else as an inhibitor. Look at the role, either activator or inhibitor. Magnesium as an activator of Rubisco enzyme. How many of you know Rubisco enzyme? बोलिए ऋषि.
Most abundant enzyme in the plant world.
Most abundant protein in the living world works as an enzyme in the plant world, and in which organelle of the plant, where exactly it is found, Rishi? Chloroplast. Zanil is correct. Chloroplast of the cell, उसके स्ट्रोमा में ये अवेलेबल होता है. एक दूसरा एंजाइम जिसको कहते हैं फॉस्फोइनोल पायरुवेट कार्बोक्साइलेज. फॉस्फोइनोल पायरुवेट कार्बोक्साइलेज, उसको पैप केस कहते हैं. पैप, फॉस्फोइनोल पायरुवेट केस carboxylase. PAP case enzyme, again it will require what? Magnesium for activation. Zinc ion, Zn2 plus, is an activator of enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase. Molybdenum, its ion is necessary, molybdate ion is necessary as an activator of enzyme nitrogenase. So you see, many enzymes need activators. These essential elements play the role of activators over there. Aage. Some elements are needed to maintain osmotic potential of cell. Ionic equilibrium में चाहिए. जैसे आते हैं पोटेशियम एंड क्लोरीन, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं ये दो, जिसके थ्रू स्टोमेटा ओपनिंग, क्लोजिंग, osmosis maintenance in the cell, that all things are managed. So आप by and large अगर वर्कआउट करते हो एलिमेंट्स का रोल, तो 4 कैटेगरीज दिमाग में आते हैं. एक तो बायोमोलिक्यूल के कंस्ट्रक्शन में, फिर एनर्जी रिलेटेड मॉलिक्यूल्स के कंस्ट्रक्शन में, फिर एंजाइम एक्टिविटी में, और फिर ऑस्मोसिस मेंटेनेंस में, मेंटेनेंस ऑफ वाटर एंड आयन बैलेंस ऑफ द प्लांट सेल. ये 4 सेक्टर्स है, 4 यूनिट्स है, 4 एरियाज है in the life of plant where these essential elements are working. तो ये 4 कैटेगरीज में डिवाइडेड कर दिए जा सकते हैं. कैटेगरी नंबर 1, कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन, नाइट्रोजन needed for building up the biomolecules. Category number 2, magnesium for chlorophyll formation, phosphorus for ATP formation, the essential elements needed for building up energy related molecules. Then zinc and molybdenum and manganese, etc., needed for activities of enzymes. And lastly, potassium and chlorine, their ions needed for the osmotic balance of the cell. ये 4 जोन में कैटेगरीज में आप इनको डिवाइड कर सकते हो. बोलो, यहां तक कोई डाउट है आपको? No question is coming. First category and examples. First, कौन सी कैटेगरी है? Those elements which are participating in what? GR Rathod. First,
Sir, for the structural of the cell, and the examples are hydrogen, nitrogen, and carbon and oxygen.
yes, correct. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen needed for biomolecule formation. Those biomolecules which build up the cells. Correct. फिर किसका टर्न? कोई रिपीट ना हो ऐसा कोई है नया नेम? नो, ऑल आर रिपीटेड. तो एक गर्ल को बोला है अभी, जयती. जयती,
As components of energy related chemical compounds.
एग्जाम्पल के साथ एक्सप्लेन कीजिए. जैसे
Like magnesium is used in chlorophyll and phosphorus in ATP.
एब्सोल्युटली राइट. तीसरा विथ एग्जाम्पल देना है. फतेमा.
Yes, sir. Sir, enzymes which are used as activator or inhibitor. Example, Mg+2 as activator, then Rubisco, then phosphorate pyrite carboxylic, then Zn+3 as activator of alcohol, and
alcohol dehydrogenase activity. Yeah.
yes, sir, and MO as an activator of nitrogenase.
Yeah. So as an activator of various enzymes, that is a special category, important category. And Rudra, 4th category.
Yes, sir, to alter the osmotic potential of the cell. For example, potassium, which is used as a opening and closing of stomata.
Yeah, osmotic balance in which potassium and chlorine, particularly potassium, by maintaining the osmotic balance, it will help in opening and closing of stomata. Now, our next topic is hydroponics. hydroponics. See, in year 1860, Sir Julian von Schaech German botanist, he demonstrated for the first time that plants can also grow in water out of the soil, not in soil, but in solution, inside the solution, out of the soil, they can grow. The plants can be grown to the maturity outside the soil, in the absence of soil, in some solution. This technique of growing the plants in a nutrient solution outside the soil is known as hydroponics. देखो एक वर्ड है एग्रोपोनिक्स. Growing the plant in the soil is called agroponics. Growing the plant in the soil is known as what? Agroponics. You maintain the root system inside the soil and plant will grow. That's a simple way of understanding agroponics. If you grow the plant outside the soil, keeping the root system in some solution, what you call as a nutrient solution, then that pattern of growing the plant is known as hydroponics. मैं फिर से repeat करता हूं, what is a hydroponics? Then I will go in detail of the same. Number one, in 1860, a German botanist named as Julius von Schaech. In the year 1860, a German botanist named as Julius von Schaech, he developed one method of growing the plants outside the soil, in the absence of soil, maintaining the root system of the plant in a nutrient solution. He grew them, matured them. This is known as hydroponics. Chalo, in which year hydroponics was developed, established, started, initiated? By scientists of which country? Correct is the 1860s, correct. German scientist, Germany का scientist थे, botanist थे. What's the name of that scientist who demonstrated this technique, hydroponics? Yeah, it's about growing the plant in absence of dash. It's about growing the plant in absence of dash, in absence of soil. And it's about growing the plant by maintaining its root system in dash. Instead of soil, the root system is maintained in dash. It is maintained in nutrient solution. Nutrient solution. So this is called as hydroponics. Now, in this technique, what is done is, as you can see here in the pic, you need a glass container. You need a glass container. You must have seen many people grow the plants on the terrace by hanging them in the bottles and glass containers. देखा है कभी terrace gardening में? Not even pots with the soil, straight away glass container. And this technique is very common in Israel. Israel में क्या है? Soil ही नहीं है ज़्यादा. वहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा use होती है ये technique. Anyways, coming to this point that you need a glass container. First and foremost requirement is a glass container. It could be a beaker, it could be a bottle or any such container. Second, it should be filled with nutrient solution, a solution which should contain how many elements at least? Exactly those 17 essential elements. Not any 17, you got to write down 17 essential elements it should have. कोई भी एक मिसिंग होगा तो ये प्लांट ग्रो नहीं कर पाएगा. You understand? तो जैसे सॉइल में से प्लांट को वाटर, एयर एंड न्यूट्रिएंट्स मिलते हैं, तो ये न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन में से भी वाटर एंड मिनरल्स विल बी अवेलेबल for the root system. And obviously there will be a funnel filled with this too, which can add the water and nutrients as and when required. When the system's water and nutrient level goes down, तो वो supplementation के लिए यहाँ पे एक funnel add किया जाता है. अच्छा, तीसरा arrangement है कि aeration tube is there, aerating tube is there. Do you know aquarium में होता है ऐसा, एक ट्यूब लगाते हैं और एक छोटा सा इंसान ऐसा कुछ भी मूवमेंट करता है या उसमें से बबल्स निकलते हैं, देखा है आपने? स्कूबा डाइवर जैसा एक छोटा सा बंदा होता है वहां पे एक्वेरियम में, छोटा सा टॉय स्कूबा डाइवर होता है, वो उसमें वो ट्यूब बैंड होती है तो वो कुछ मूवमेंट करता है और बबल्स वहां से निकलते हैं. इट लुक्स गुड. सो बेसिकली एन एरेटिंग ट्यूब क्या होती है कि विच कैन add air into the given system in the given solution. तो देखो, plant root system अगर soil में होता तो it would have obtained water, minerals and air from the soil. अब यहाँ पे nutrient solution उसको water देता है and dissolved all required essential elements. वो जो 17 है ना, वो अपने अपने salt form में होते हैं. जैसे कहीं पे NH4Cl, कहीं पे KCl, तो वन बाय वन हर एक एलिमेंट का एक सॉल्ट होता है उसमें डिसॉल्व, तो उसमें से उसको मिनरल मिल जाएगा. ऑल दो 17. नेक्स्ट, द एरेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड एंड दैट इज गिवन बाय एरेटिंग ट्यूब. तो अगर आप रूट सिस्टम को फिक्स कर दो, एंकरिंग कर दो, यहाँ पे ट्यूब, वो जो रूट प्लांट का जो स्टेम है उसको यहाँ पे होल्ड करके फर्मली अटैच कर दो, तो जैसे रूट्स सॉइल में एंकर करते हैं, एंकरिंग हो जाएगा. सेकंड, वाटर, एयर एंड मिनरल्स प्रोवाइड कर दो वाया दिस न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन एंड एरेटिंग स्टफ, एरेटिंग ट्यूब स्टफ. तो whatever that soil is offering to the root system and plant, same is been offered by the given setup. So if a plant can survive with the anchoring water, minerals and air in the soil, here you provide all four: anchoring, water, mineral and soil. The root system will survive here, plant will survive here. Simple as that. This is known as hydroponics. Take a glass container, put nutrient solution in it, have an aeration arrangement, anchor the plant in such a way that the root system remains in the nutrient solution, and expose the plant to light. Plant will survive as a normal plant. Simple as that. बोलिए, क्लियर है कंसेप्ट आपका इससे रिलेटेड? हाँ या ना? अच्छा, this technique is much more beneficial than that of the soil-based agroponics technique of plant growing. See, here the wastage of the nutrients is least. आपका जो nutrient का supply है वो proper रहेगा as per the requirement. So wastage of water, nutrients, it will be least. So what happens is that hydroponics has been successfully employed as a technique for commercial production of vegetables such as tomato, such as lettuce, थोड़ा कैबेज जैसा आता है, ब्रोकोली एंड कैबेज के बीच का कैटेगरी लेट्यूस, या फिर एक दूसरा कुकुम्बर, सीडलेस कुकुम्बर। So varieties of plants, so many vegetables these days are grown up in a hydroponics setups over there. Simple as that. Plants such as tomato, seedless cucumber and lettuce. For their growth though, these are commercially utilized over there. ऐसा. अच्छा, दूसरा point. Actually, hydroponics method was important in identifying whether the given element is essential or not. आर्नन एंड स्टाउट ने हाइड्रोपोनिक्स के थ्रू वर्कआउट किया था कि विच एलिमेंट्स आर एसेंशियल एंड विच आर नॉट. रीजन तो कि जो सॉइल होता है उसमें आपको पता नहीं है कि कौन सा एलिमेंट प्रेजेंट कौन सा एब्सेंट, तो यू कैन नॉट वर्कआउट द एसेंशियलिटी ऑफ एलिमेंट, बट हियर यू कैन वर्कआउट. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल वो जो 17 एलिमेंट्स है उसमें से न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन में से वो कोई एक एलिमेंट आप नहीं दे रहे. लेट्स से 17 minus 1 elements you are providing, so 16 elements you are providing, one of the essential one you are not providing. Let's say potassium you are not providing in this nutrient solution. Will this plant complete its life cycle or not in a hydroponics? No, it won't. Potassium is one of the essential one. In its absence, the cycle cannot be completed. तो आपको पता चल जाएगा. आप समझ रहे हो? आपके पास दो सेटअप है, ए एंड बी. ए वो है जिसमें आपने ऑल 17 एलिमेंट्स रखे हैं. बी वो सेटअप है जिसके न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन में एक मिसिंग है, बाकी सब चीजें दोनों में सेम है. दोनों में सेम प्लांट, दोनों में एरेशन मैटर का अरेंजमेंट, एरेशन ट्यूब का अरेंजमेंट, दोनों में न्यूट्रिएंट मीडियम. एक ही डिफरेंस, न्यूट्रिएंट मीडियम में ऑल 17 एलिमेंट्स इन ए केस, ऑल 17 में से एक मिसिंग इन बी केस. किस में प्लांट कंप्लीट करेगा अपना लाइफ साइकिल? ए में. बी में नहीं कर पाएगा. एसेंशियल वन इज मिसिंग, इट वोंट कंप्लीट इट्स लाइफ साइकिल. सी, एज सिंपल एज दैट द मेथड टू फाइंड आउट व्हिच वन इज एन एसेंशियल वन. आपको लगता है कि सल्फर एसेंशियल है या नॉन एसेंशियल, नहीं पता चल रहा है. क्या करना पड़ेगा? प्रिपेयर अ न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन विदाउट सल्फर, प्रोवाइड इट टू द प्लांट, and prepare a nutrient solution with sulfur, provide it to the another plant. If another one survives and this one doesn't, it means your sulfur is an essential element. This can be done for all 17. How many have understood this second point of importance of hydroponics method? First, I said that hydroponics is used for commercial production of plants, vegetables such as seedless cucumber, lettuce, tomato, and other such small herbaceous plants can be grown up over there. Second, it is the one which will help in detecting which elements are essential and which ones are non-essential. Not only that, but the effects of deficiency of these essential elements or their excessiveness, जिसको कहते हैं toxicity of these essential elements. Essential elements की toxicity या deficiency. Toxicity means over proportion होने का effect. Deficiency means under proportion होने का effect. Plant में क्या होता है? कैसे learn कर सकते हैं? As simple as that. Number one, A plant, B plant, both are in hydroponics. दोनों के nutrient solution में all 17 elements. A में all 17 elements in required amount. B में 17 में से 16 in required amount, one of them in a lesser amount than required. Let the plant complete its life cycle and observe and compare them throughout A and B. आपको पता चल जाएगा कि B, where one of the element was given in a deficiency level, certain changes occur in the plant life. Present तो था element but in a lesser amount. So immediately you can make out that what happens if there is a deficiency of a given element in the plant life. उसके symptoms यहाँ पे study कर सकते हो. जैसे इसके leaf, इसका growth stunted हो गया, तो आप बोल सकते हो deficiency of this element leads to stunted growth. Three things where the hydroponics is utilized. Number one, commercial production of vegetables and plants such as seedless cucumber, tomato, lettuce, etc. Another one, to identify whether the element is essential or not. Number three, to study the deficiency symptoms of a given essential element. Who will repeat the 3 points? Importance. First point, Rudra. Second point,
Yes,
Shreya.
sir.
Third point, Fatima. First point.
Yes, sir. It was used to grow to grow plants commercially, such as seedless cucumber, tomato, lettuce, etc.
Done. Next, Shreya.
To check whether a given element is essential for the plant or not.
To experimentally work out whether given element is essential or non-essential for the plant. Yes. Third.
To detect whether the effect is deficiency or it is containing toxicity of essential elements.
नहीं dear, आपने misunderstand किया. To study the effects of deficiency of a particular mineral. ऐसा नहीं कि हर मिनरल डेफिशिएंसी क्रिएट करता है. आप रिवर्स सोचो कि अगर कोई मिनरल कम अमाउंट में है, जिसको कहते हैं हम डेफिशिएंसी लेवल पे है, तो फिर प्लांट लाइफ में क्या चेंजेस आते हैं, दैट यू कैन स्टडी. आई होप यू ऑल गॉट इट नाउ. या रिवर्स, अगर उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट से ज्यादा अमाउंट है, जिसको टॉक्सिसिटी कहते हैं. सी, कोई भी एलिमेंट एक लिमिटेड अमाउंट में चाहिए. उससे कम अमाउंट को डेफिशिएंट लेवल कहते हैं, उससे ज्यादा अमाउंट को टॉक्सिसिटी लेवल कहते हैं. So if any element is available in its which levels, either more or less, more is toxic, less is deficient levels, then what happens to the plant body? That is something you can learn in hydroponics. Tell me, are you all clear regarding this matter?
Yes, sir.
Last point regarding hydroponics, उसकी जो एक टाइप है, जिसके बारे में टेक्स्ट बुक में लिखा है, पिक्चर दिया है, डिटेल तो नहीं दिया, बट हाँ. सो इस टाइप को कहते हैं 12.2 फिगर में दिया है, वन ऑफ द अनदर मॉडिफाइड पैटर्न ऑफ हाइड्रोपोनिक्स. इस मेथड में एनएफटी मेथड कहते हैं, जिसको न्यूट्रिएंट फिल्म टेक्निक कहते हैं. सो व्हाट दे डू इज दैट दे प्रिपेयर काइंड ऑफ पाइप. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वो एक पाइप लेते हैं. जैसे आपने कोई एक पाइप लिया और उस पाइप में छोटे छोटे ओपनिंग्स कर देते हैं. उससे वो पाइप में क्या इंसर्ट करेंगे, प्लांट को इंसर्ट करेंगे. मैं आपको दिखाता हूं. जैसे एक पाइप है ये, See, they create a holes like this, then fit the plant in such a way that its root system shall be hanging inside the ट्यूब। अच्छा, इस ट्यूब में एक एंड से न्यूट्रिएंट मटेरियल, न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन को फ्लो कराते हैं। किसको फ्लो कराते हैं? न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन को। देखो, एक एंड से एंटर हो रहा है, दूसरे एंड से वो बाहर जा रहा है न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन। ऑब्वियसली उसके लिए मोटर का यूज करते हैं कि एक मोटर, इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर होती है जो रन करती है पाइप्स के थ्रू, पुश करती है, पंप करती है फ्लूइड को, और ये स्लोप पे रखा जाता है। ये थोड़े स्लोप पे होता है। इससे क्या होगा? न्यूट्रिएंट अपने आप फ्लो करके दूसरे एंड पे बकेट में आ जाते हैं। फिर उसी बकेट में से मोटर के थ्रू again they are diverted into that tube again. First of all, did you understand the setup? A big tube with holes through which root system is pushed into the lumen of the tube, and shoot system is outside, firmly attached over there with the cotton and other material. यहाँ पे उसको hold कर दिया जाता है plants को. Now root system is hanging inside the lumen of the pipe. Through this pipe, nutrient solution is allowed to flow in such a way कि root system comes in contact with the flowing nutrient medium. उसमें से वो nutrient and water को absorb करेगा। अच्छा, ये फ्लो करके वापस दूसरे एंड में बकेट में आ जाएगा, फिर से पंप करके पाइप के थ्रू वापस जाएगा अंदर। इससे क्या होगा? एक तो न्यूट्रिएंट मटेरियल, न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन जो है वो अच्छे से मिक्स होगा, एयर भी इसके साथ अच्छे से मिक्स होगी, and that will be utilized for the better growth of the plant. आगे वाले में क्या था? एकदम स्टेडी था, ये एकदम स्टेडी है। इसमें एयर आता है लेकिन मटेरियल्स का मिक्सिंग प्रॉपर नहीं होता है। जबकि ये वाला सेटअप था दूसरा, उसमें न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन इज इन अ फ्लो। आई विल शो यू। देखिए, यहां से बकेट में आता है, फिर बकेट में से पंप होके वापस जाता है यहाँ पे। Can you make out the whole cycling of the entire nutrient solution? This is called NFT type hydroponics method.
Yes, understood.
बोलिए, इसके बारे में कोई क्वेश्चन है आपको? Anyone having any question regarding this? It seems no. इसका benefit, इसका, हाँ बोलिए।
Sir, which one is more beneficial?
This one is more beneficial. Previous one जो था ना, जैसे आपने बॉटल्स हैंग कर दिए तो वहां पे स्टेडीनेस आ जाता है, तो ग्रोथ स्लो रहता है। यहाँ पे न्यूट्रिएंट फ्लो कर रहा है, रूट सिस्टम कॉन्स्टेंटली एजिटेटेड न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन को रिसीव कर रहा है। अच्छा, फ्लो हो रहा है, इट मींस ऑक्सीजन भी डिसॉल्व अच्छा होता है यहाँ पे, तो न्यूट्रिएंट का मिक्सिंग, ऑक्सीजन की अवेलेबिलिटी ये बढ़ जाएगी रूट सिस्टम में। सो यहाँ से मटेरियल अच्छे जाएंगे, ऑक्सीजन अच्छा जाएगा, तो ग्रोथ भी बेटर होगा। सो अगर आप प्लांट्स को एक ही दिन पे, एक ही टाइप के, एक ही साइज के प्लांट्स को स्टेडी हाइड्रोपोनिक्स में रखेंगे या फिर एनएफटी वाले हाइड्रोपोनिक्स में रखेंगे, तो एनएफटी में ग्रोथ फास्टर रहेगा। अच्छा, एक और वर्जन है इसका, उस वर्जन को कहते हैं एरोपोनिक्स। देखिए, अगेन एक पाइप है, उसमें से प्लांट्स हैंग कर रहे हैं। They are held in this pipe in such a way that shoot is projected from the pipe and root system is hanging below this pipe. और इसको स्टैंड पे रखा जाता है और नीचे से यहां से स्प्रिंकलर्स होते हैं. दीज आर स्प्रिंकलर्स विच आर स्प्रिंकलिंग the nutrient solution towards the root system. आप इमेजिन करो स्प्रिंकलर्स रूट सिस्टम की ओर न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन को स्प्रे कर रहे हैं इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एरोसोल्स. एरोसोल्स मींस छोटे छोटे सस्पेंडेड ड्रॉपलेट्स. आप ना कहीं पे अगर फाउंटेन ऑन है ना तो उसके नियर बाय भी जाएंगे ना तो आपके ऊपर छोटे 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 वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स आएंगे. देखा है कभी आपने, एक्सपीरियंस किया है? What comes towards you is the aerosols, suspended water molecules. Ever experienced that? यहीं पे भी ऐसा ही होता है. स्प्रिंकलिंग किया जाता है किसका? न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन का towards the root system of the plants so that they can pick up from the air the suspended aerosols of the air from which they pick up nutrients and water over there. इसमें न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन का वेस्टेज लीस्ट होता है. बार बार यहीं पे गिरता है मटेरियल और यहीं से स्प्रे होके क्लोज कंटेनर में रूट सिस्टम को सिर्फ मिलता रहता है तो वेस्टेज होने का चांसेस मिनिमम रहता है. सो ये स्टेडी हाइड्रोपोनिक्स, फिर एनएफटी टाइप ऑफ हाइड्रोपोनिक्स और ये एरोपोनिक्स, तीन में से ये सबसे बेस्ट रिजल्ट देता है. लेकिन ये बहुत ही कॉस्टली होता है. स्प्रिंकलर्स को मेंटेन करना, पंप पे स्प्रिंकलिंग करना, इस सब में एनर्जी एक्सपेंडिचर बहुत ज्यादा होता है. तो बेसिकली यू हैव लर्नड अबाउट हाइड्रोपोनिक्स मेथड, a method to grow the plant not in soil but out of the soil in a glass container or in pipes, either in a steady manner in a glass container or in the pipes fitted over there in an NFT technique or in a aeroponics. Regarding this hydroponics, if you have any doubt or question, feel free to ask. See, nutrient solution, a solution that is used in hydroponics method, provided to the root system, so that root system can get water and minerals from the same. ऐसा aeration arrangement to provide oxygen, the air. Root systems normally require air, which is provided in this manner. This occurs in three different manners rather. Steady culture, the one in which your nutrient solution is filled in a container and root system is maintained over there, and that's it, you let it grow. Another one is NFT, nutrient film technique, the one in which layer of nutrient solution is maintained in the tube wherein the root systems are hanging. देखो आप एक स्लैंटिंग पोजीशन में पाइप को रखा है, थोड़ा स्लोप बना के रखा है, आप केयरफुली ऑब्जर्व करो तो पता चलेगा. तो जैसे ही एक एंड से आप न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन को रिलीज करोगे पंप में, ऑटोमेटिकली उसकी टेंडेंसी होगी टू कम डाउन फ्रॉम द अदर एंड ऑफ द पाइप, और वो जिस फ्लो में आगे बढ़ेगा उसमें रूट सिस्टम्स हैंग करती है, वो डिप हो जाती है, एंड दे गेट देयर न्यूट्रिएंट्स ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट एंड वाटर. अच्छा, यूज्ड न्यूट्रिएंट सॉल्यूशन वापस अंदर आएगा टब में, फिर से मोटर पंप्स इट towards the tube again. तो ये एक साइक्लिक फ्लो में चलता रहेगा. इसमें न्यूट्रिएंट्स का मिक्सिंग ज्यादा होगा, न्यूट्रिएंट्स एलिमेंट्स का मिक्सिंग ज्यादा होगा सॉल्यूशन में. अच्छा एरेशन बेटर होगा क्योंकि न्यूट्रिएंट मीडियम इज इन अ फ्लो. तो better aeration and better mixing of nutrients gives better growth to the plant in this setup. फिर तीसरा आता है जिसको कहते हैं एरोपोनिक्स. The one in which you have a setup in which the plants are hanging and their root systems are hanging in air, and in this hanging root system we are sprinkling the nutrient solution. Nutrient solution droplets stick to the root system, and from that the root system will procure water and minerals. Wastage of the nutrient solution is least in this case, but this is a very costly affair, the aeroponics. Agroponics, the growing of plants by maintaining the root system in soil. Hydroponics, the growing of the plants and maintenance of root system in nutrient solution. Aeroponics, growing the plant in such a way that their root systems shall remain in air and obtain the nutrients from sprinkling nutrient solution. These are the three methods which we have learned today. I repeat what I said earlier because madam, you can stop the recording.